welcome back, Noble Heroes. We return once again to our crew and questers as they head down the Crystal Forest River. But first, we'd like to give you our pledge. We here at the Homebrew channel reserve the right to be horrible, crass, and crude when the story calls for it, but also to be delightful, sweet, and tug on your heartstrings. And remember, Noble Heroes, do try to sit home. We return back to the negotiations with Potjack, and 50% discount. That's what he said. Who yells back?
She's gonna yell back. It sounds like overpaying.
He says, that's a lot of money off. He says, it's 100,000 gold to get a Potjack.
How exactly distant is it from where he is to the nearest place where he could get to get out of there?
So likely that one of the Elven kingdoms would not accept Potjack.
Yes, I know.
So you're looking at a good... it's like 8 days downriver with the Outrunner to get to Bridgewalk.
Oh, no.
So you're looking at probably at least 3 weeks.
So well, yes, but distance too. Because I would be able to pretty much calculate the distance in miles if I wanted.
Like 200-300 miles?
We'll just say that I know the miles, and we'll just say that. And she goes, yes, well, you're a blank amount of miles out, which is about, even for your pace, about 3 weeks of running.
I'll get what you're saying, he says. I'll tell you what. I sweetened the pot, he says. Once again, no wiggling. He pulls out a chunk. What you think from your gleam of the metal is a nugget of adamantine. Isaac, you once had a construct with adamantine studs on it, providing additional armor. It is a rare and difficult to obtain metal that could be used to give a bump to one of your constructs if you were to obtain it.
Quietly to the party, Isaac says, I could use that. And his eyes look a little hungry. He's like staring at the metal.
I'll give you this. It's not gold, he says, but I think it's worth a bit.
Well, she says, if you want it that bad,
She wants to pay me.
He sees you deliberating.
You should also request that he aid us in whatever we do until he leaves the ship. Free of charge, of course.
She steps forward. If you're going to be on my ship, then you have to pay your dues. You have to aid us. Anything we need until you're off my ship.
No. I'm not some swashbuckling deck swabber, he says. I'm Potjack, he says.
How about only the exciting things? She asks.
No fighting. That's going to be part of the deal, so that none of yous fight me, and none of me's fight you.
Tell him to have fun walking.
Yep.
Roland's just going to walk over and sit down.
And June agrees with you. Although, it might be a bluff at her point.
You're losing your audience, she yells at him.
As he sees you all begin to fall away, he goes, all right, he says. I can see that you all don't want Potjack on your ship. But what if? He's gonna pull up the chest, and he opens up to reveal just dozens of bricks of gold. What if I gave you half of this? It is 1 wealth point worth of gold.
1/2 is a wealth point?
He is going to give you a wealth point worth of money.
You'd rather give us that much gold than help us with a few measly battles on your way there.
Yes.
Well, you're a man who knows your values, I guess.
Look, Potjack does a job, gets paid a stupid amount of money for it, in gold, and then he relaxes, he says. I don't want swabbing decks, scrubbing barrels. I want food and sunshine. He says, so half of this money, the adamantine brick, and 50% off a job. That's the final offer.
Are you saying that your current or previous job is now over with? You're on your break?
I'm not going to discuss my previous clientele. Just as I wouldn't discuss you with no other people.
The question isn't to discuss them. The question is to discuss whether you are still in employment.
He says, cross my big meaty heart, not in the job. I'm done, that's what this money came from. Injury pay, thanks to you, he says, a little bit scathing.
She's smiling.
If we paid to hire you for a job right now, would you fight with us during the trip?
Well, I'm not giving you all this stuff if you'll pay me for a job.
I see.
You can
If we
always
want the
give it
stuff,
to us.
you have to relax.
Correct.
Okay, that changes things a little
He's
bit.
kind of like starting to like run as the river's starting to pick up a little bit. I don't like running here, so if we could deliberate or whatever.
Just give him a ride.
Do you want to be the one to keep an eye on him?
Sure, he'll stay on the deck with me.
Do you have enough food?
Hell no. No.
She says, well, we had 7 weeks when we left Jacobsburg. It's only been a week. 6 weeks?
Does he look like 6 weeks is going to be enough?
I can hunt, Dom says.
He can hunt for himself.
Not if he isn't going to do
I
work.
can also use that wealth point to just replenish all of our supplies whenever we get to the bridge walk.
Oh, wait, it's worth way more than that.
No, wealth point. Well, we can use that gold to
We can just buy
replenish
food
everything.
for him.
Yeah, it's
I think
fine.
we have
And-
enough rations to make it to the next place.
And
we
he
could
sucks,
buy
but he's
more
not
food.
a bad guy.
Honestly, she says,
He does stick to his contracts, and he is known to not discuss anything he hears.
I really hate the idea of him just being out here.
well, from what I've seen inside his head, I have to say, I agree. He's not entirely horrible.
I think it would be worthwhile to have him of us, to a degree.
I agree.
What we are going to be encountering over time, I think we shouldn't throw away the opportunity of future use.
Potjack, that 50% discount, does that apply to any of us or just one of us?
The collective, he says.
Isaac says he's okay with it, but he's not going to make the final call because he's a...
It's your
Not
ship,
captain.
and whatever he does on it.
But he will mention that Potjack is heavily outmatched if he is on this ship. I don't think he'll try anything.
Well, we could use that money. So the question is, do we take the money and the adamantine?
Adamantine.
I vote we take what he's offering and not
Give him
hire
a
him.
ride. Yeah.
Oh, I do not believe we need to hire him, but it
Not
was
yet.
worthwhile trying to bargain out that he helps to defend the ship if we are attacked. That's what I
Well,
was
I'm sure he'll fight if he's being attacked.
I'm sure.
Just
he will.
direct all the enemies to him. She'll lean up. All right. Deal.
Oh, he pats his belly. Good. He's gonna, like, pull up the chest and then, and he just, like, leaps the entire side of the river onto your ship.
He's
She's
Should've done
gonna,
that
like,
the whole
screech.
time.
What are you
Does
doing?
he damage it?
So he's gonna, like, land, and he kind of, like, he sort of hits his heels into the wood, and you hear, like, this, like, creak of the boards, and then he's gonna just drop the gold, and then reach in, pick up half of it, and then he's gonna turn. You oath, he says. He goes, what? No wiggling. No manipulation.
Define
wants to be-
wiggling.
haggling.
He
I know,
looks,
but she
yeah.
wants to know what his
he
meaning
looks
is.
at you like very slyly. You know, wiggling.
Do you mean like literal wiggling?
Dancing. No dancing. No wiggling.
She looks at the people who keep dancing around
you
her.
can tell that everyone thinks he's joking, but he's not.
She's looking at the people who keep doing it, and she's
John,
actually
his mouth is like wide open right now. Dom is looking very seriously at the affair. It's almost humorous how serious he is right now. Hero is like,
Well, welcome to the Outrunner, she says.
no manipulation, no fighting between us, nobody on the ship. And if somebody attacks, don't got to fight none. No work.
I'll not assign you any work.
Okay, I'm not going to do none of the work anyway. That's the oath. He says, I make it with the Roland because I
She
know
goes,
that
"Wait."
he's all the paladin.
You take care of your own stuff, though. No making a mess and making us clean up after you.
Alright, but I'm going to eat food for free.
That's part of the deal.
And drink.
We have plenty of swill.
I like swill.
I thought you might.
Okay. As the two of you lock hands, there is a subtle, as a faded oath seals the bond. He goes, wonderful! He's gonna just shove the adamantine in your hand. There you go, he says.
Throws it to you.
Apple.
Very easily.
So the adamantine brick is about 40 pounds.
Please don't.
It's
Okay.
about the size of your
Don't
hand.
crush our cleric!
I catch it, and like I lean forward like it's gonna pull me down, and I'm like, oh,
Need some help? She asks.
no, prongboard here.
Convor's gonna like take. He reaches. He clearly reaches with his arm that it's not there, and then he's. Wonderful. Podjack leans up on the mast and places his feet out, and just like lets his belly sort of ride up a little bit from his leathers. Let's go, he says.
We'll need to prepare some place for you to sleep, unless you'd like to sleep out here.
Oh, yes, beneath the stars. This is where I'm going to sleep.
She's looking at Roland like, I'm so sorry.
Sorry, buddy, you ain't getting down none, he says as he looks up at Cleby. Cleby goes, on pot, Jack. He goes, that's the best, birdie.
All right. Fine. Do you need a blanket?
Could take a blanket.
Get you a bloody blanket.
But if it's a little halfling napkin, you can keep it.
He's a tarp.
Or I'll use it as a handkerchief, he says. But you're not going to want it back.
She waves her hand. I'll go make the arrangements. She walks over to Bali. All right.
All right,
some
dead
food.
man, who are you? Saw what you did to Zio, he says. Right, smacking. Oh, that staff you got. Where's that thing?
Can't guarantee it's
I
one.
didn't know I had an audience.
He
You paid
goes,
an awful lot of attention to me for how many people you were fighting back there.
it's easy to see over the one I'm fighting.
That's true.
He goes, plus, I've never seen you before in the hero game. Traveling with Roland, he says.
Well, that
I knew Roland back when he rid horses.
really now. You have to tell us some stories about that.
There's just
One time, he came down into a canyon and I was drinking. I talked to him in Harper and then I left.
Now that's the kind of story I like to hear.
that was the story. I was little.
He's as good as telling stories as Roland is.
Yeah.
No, but he's gonna reach up and he kind of smacks you heavy on the shoulder, He goes,
Oh, he
we
likes
go
you.
way back, me and Roland. He's going to look over at you and he kind of gives us like,
Yep.
back before my teeth was sharp.
What's his teeth look like now as he's talking?
He has one like big long sharp tusk and then like one kind of broken like grated tusk. And then his other teeth are flat.
Okay.
Like a human. They're just wide. So Podjack has like a sloping forehead that makes him look like a Neanderthal. And he's got, kind of got like a pudgy neck that's very squat and his shoulders are up real high so that his head looks really small compared to his giant gut. And he's got that arm thing slung over his shoulder. He's covered in just stuff. But he's so big and fat that it just kind of hangs off him. So he's like walking with all his worldly possessions on him. And they're just tied to him with little leather cords that hang off of bandoliers and belts.
Yeah. June's just standing over to the side watching you all interact with him.
He goes, so, got a name? Or you got no tongue?
The name's Isaac. I come from Serenades.
Oh.
You spend much time up north?
Serenades? Yeah, that's where all the good work is.
You could say that. You spend any time gambling up there?
What house you with?
Crowy.
I work for your father.
Really now? How long ago was that?
Long?
He said not long?
Long.
Long, okay. I was probably but a wee child back then.
I was probably 3 feet shorter. He says, walked him down south, I did. He was walking in a carriage the whole time, wouldn't step foot out in the mud.
A simple escort job. You're acting as a bodyguard.
No job too small for Popjack. I'll steal from your granny, or I'll beat a giant down.
Well, tell me, did anything happen, or was it not very eventful?
Well, we've gone into Aragorn, missed the king. Got a good job there, for a while, being a torturer and all in his fortress.
Okay.
Ripping men in two.
Are you anywhere near this conversation out of curiosity?
No, she's not.
Just checking.
He goes, swear I lost this tusk. He says as he points to his tooth.
Being a torturer.
He says, yeah. One of him men was ascended. Whoever he punched is shattered. Hit me in my face.
What'd you do to him after that?
I ripped him in two.
I see.
Then he couldn't shatter nothing. Because I broke his fist down. Tasty.
You've had a very diverse career, it sounds like.
What do you mean?
It sounds like you're good at a lot of different things.
I don't know what all them words meant, but I like it.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah. He doesn't.
Isaac is like hefting his gold pouch and he says, you charge by the day or by the job?
Prongor's like, yes, do tell. He goes, depends. If it's like a long-term job, months, day. But if it's a requested thing, we're charged by the job. Says, it's usually about 100,000, so, I'll go do it. But if it's 10 seconds or something, 1,000.
Okay.
Like, so you just want me to bust down an indestructible wall or something like that. That's pretty easy if I don't cut a walk there. Or if you can all teleport me.
Okay.
Hey, pretty girl. You're that godmother, ain't you? I've been meaning to ask the godmother something.
And what's that, Potjack?
I've got a book on me. You know all my secrets.
Does
You ever
anybody
cast a
else?
witch on me? All right. You ever sent a hero to take me down? Like you personally.
The question you should be asking is, have we ever hired you?
Have you ever hired me?
She smiles and walks away.
Was it that time the frog hired me?
Yep, she's walking away. She's kind of chuckling under
He's
her
going to
breath.
narrow his eyes. How does the demeanor of the crew change now that Potjack is on the ship?
I think Isaac would be unfazed because Potjack is very similar to a lot of muscle that Isaac has a lot of experience talking with.
Okay. No, go on, please.
I was just going to say, honestly, Yuffie is a little bit amused by his antics, and she would just, like, go out of her way to make his stay as uncomfortable as possible without seeming like she is.
Chuckle.
Hero is going to approach Potjack.
Oh.
He goes, Mr. Potjack? Mr. Potjack? He says, it's just Potjack. Oh. I was wondering, why would you take a job to kill the Dragon of Fate? I mean, don't you benefit from your fate? He says. That's a good point. I guess. Didn't really think a lot about it. Damblish said that he was a manipulator. I hate math. He says.
Oh my god, he means math when he says manipulator.
This whole time Isaac's assumed he meant, like,
Yeah.
Manipulation?
magical, like...
I did too.
Wait, what? Look, I'm fine with addition and subtraction. Occasionally, I'm even good to have something. But the one with the X, I don't like that one. He said he was a manipulator. I don't like math none. Potjack is deadly serious right now. He looks like he will crush anyone who tries to manipulate something in front of him.
Oh god.
I don't want none of this. I'll pay you times 4 what they're paying, Potjack. If they do that, I'm gonna crush their head like I'm nothing. He says. Hero looks like he's just been knocked out of his body and is just like vaguely staring at Potjack. He turns around without saying anything else and just like walks away.
I mean, he's got a point.
Hero's going to look at you and like, he just kind of gets this manic, like vague grin. Like, this can't be real. And then he's going to walk away.
Yuffie might have grabbed Hero to help, like, fix up some food, since Hero's pretty good at cooking.
Did you ever find June? You said you wanted to talk to her about something.
Yeah, but it wasn't a rush, so he probably would have waited until whenever it happened.
As you all get along with your duties, you are going to suddenly hear booming outwards. His hands crack tower shields, his weight smashes walls. He stomps on the battlefields 9 feet tall. Beware ye before him, your fate is grim. An angry foe who rips limb from limb. It's Potjack, he always charges forward. No kings are safe in castles, nor any lord. Tosses knights like ragdolls, he pummels dragons to dust. If you face him in battle, you'll find the will's a must. Oh Potjack, spare my legacy in life. He lives for fighting, thriving on strife. His hands crack tower shields, his weight smash his walls. He stomps on the battlefields 9 feet tall. Beware ye before him, your fate is a grim. An angry foe who rips limb from limb. Prongor is sort of like slowly starting to like. And then he finishes with a great slam on the deck.
He's
He kind of throws himself back and lays out on the deck, just like sunbathing.
June is trying so hard not to laugh out loud right now. She's actually, like, tearing up from her laughter. That's quiet.
Jack, did you write that yourself?
No.
Probably doesn't know how to write.
But I know all the good songs.
Can you keep them a little quieter?
I don't know any songs about you, he says.
She looks like he's being near him is like the stupid is like infecting her.
He goes, but I do know some about Roland.
I hate the songs about me.
I don't know. That one by, what was his name?
Do you say that?
Chansey. Wasn't that
You
bad.
say that out loud? He's going to, like, stand up, and he's going to, like, lean in really close to you, so that his cheek is almost touching your cheek.
Please don't.
There is a night greater than any other.
Will you please stop?
Voice of an angel.
To you and me, he is a noble brother. He rides atop a dragon fierce and free.
I'm gonna get off here.
Always towards the greatest of need. He's going to stand up and he throws his arms up into the air. Roland the unbeaten, Roland of the light, a paladin of angels who sing from out of sight. Roland the unbloodied, Roland of the blade. Beware evildoers, avoid the dark of shade. For in the dark of night, where misdeeds you hide, know that he will never stand aside. Roland the unsullied, Roland of Garen lands, he will strike you down with sword in hand. He finishes with a great flourish as he swings an invisible sword around.
Isaac's sitting on a box and he's just kind of like tapping his foot, listening to the song. He's enjoying it.
Euphemia lifts her drink to Roland.
Thanks, Podjack.
Bravo.
June will golf clap.
He goes,
You should have told us when we were wheeling and dealing that we were also getting a bard on our ship.
I've got plenty more where that came from. He says, self-satisfied as he sits down. The ship kind of shudders a little bit.
How's your face? Are you, like, bright red right now?
When he was thinking about his sword roll, he was literally thinking about just throwing his sword up at the side.
Did you actually say I'm gonna get off here?
June, your mirror.
Is it, like, vibrating from your pocket? She gets it out quickly. She looks around at you guys
Does
and...
your mirror vibrate?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
She
keeps it on back.
She does. Anyway, she will go to the back of the ship, probably up the steps, and go sit back there next to Dom, I guess. Is he on the wheel?
He probably would be at the wheel.
Yeah, anyway, she opens her. Here.
Juniper, you see your niece Alice on the other side. She does actually physically appear slightly older than you remember. She is in the light.
Are you alright?
I'm fine. There's an emergency. She says something big has happened.
What?
Okay. You remember Waylon, right? that you interviewed before you left?
Yes, of course.
Okay. His SDCS, his subterranean darkness conjunctural sphere.
Yes.
We did the first test on it.
Mm-hmm.
It was successful. He caught a creature of darkness in it.
Really?
Yes, but it's not a normal creature of darkness. It's an infested messenger.
A messenger?
It ran around him like a tornado and then got caught in the trap. He brought it back. The messengers are here now. They want their messenger back. To kill him, June. They want to get rid of him.
But he's infested?
Sort of. It's different. He's not totally gone. It's not eating him like normal. He's not turning into a darkling. There's They said if we can save him, that we can... She tries to clear her thoughts for a moment. She describes that they have been trying for the past 2 days to save this individual. They call him Walks No Roads. She describes he is a Kiwi Aarakocra, a rare breed.
That's so adorable. Sorry, continue. June didn't say that. That was Sarah.
He had gone feral when he had been infected by darkness. Apparently he'd been missing for 2 weeks from the ranks of the messengers, and they were ready to write him off as dead. When the conjunctural sphere captured him, they've been trying to remove the darkness from him, but they don't have enough expertise on it.
Where
to do
are you
anything.
now?
I'm in the wheelhouse.
The messengers are in the wheelhouse?
They're outside, she says. Come on, June. She says, we do, however, have the creature. Under shielding, the messengers want to get rid of him. I told them that we have someone who can perform. June, this could be a chance to form a bond with the messengers or gain information on them.
Not to mention, if he's different than a regular infested creature.
It's possible that the messenger abilities counteract darkness. June, this is an opportunity we can't pass up.
I agree.
I told them that if they run this messenger to you, that you could perform field surgery on it.
Where are we? Give me a moment. June actually starts looking around.
This messenger. It could be huge.
I agree. Do it.
Okay, I'll tell them. They said that they can transfer it just outside the Crystal Forest. Where can they meet you? Give me a longitude and latitude.
Who's at the wheel?
Dom.
Dom, how long until we hit the Enchanted Forest?
About 20 minutes, he says.
All right. From memory, she lists off the exact place where we need to be. And she goes, 20 minutes.
All right. June, if you don't succeed, they want the body.
Of course they do.
I'll tell them.
All right. I need to go talk to my companions. Are you okay?
I'm fine. It's just been stressful. She says, I'm fine.
Maybe you need a small vacation. Don't go learn how to make chocolate. It's a bad idea. She winks at him.
She says. She looks at you and says, I remember somebody who wouldn't take a vacation either. Just learning from my mentor.
Yes, and I did, and it turned out very poorly.
Exactly. Okay. I'll go tell them now.
Thank
I'll
you.
meet you there.
June runs down to find you.
She looks startled. What is so urgent?
We need to do a minor detour.
She gets up. We'll talk up there.
There is...
Who are you within earshot of?
Not Potjack?
Not much. Is there anybody else?
I don't know. Where do you take
Do
us?
you care if anyone else is in earshot?
Kinda.
She'll take
Yeah.
you into her cabin.
That works well. She goes, I have been informed that a messenger has been infested with darkness, but is behaving differently than normal.
Messengers get infested with darkness.
Anything can be infested. Literally anything. The messengers have agreed to allow us to attempt to save it.
How?
It happens to be one of my specialties. I've made a study of darkness.
I mean, I could just probably pull it out of him.
That's not the point. The point is that
The
he's
study.
not overcome by it. If we can discover why he isn't overcome, we might be able to cure others who are infested, instead of just having to kill them.
Alright, how long is this going to take?
They'll meet us just outside the Crystal Forest, at the mouth of the river. We'll need to go back inside the Crystal Forest. I have a laboratory here.
Where?
It's Maybe an hour's travel inland. We will have to go on foot for a little bit.
Is it really that important?
Yes. Darkness is a problem in the world. It's kept quiet mostly, but its infestation, it's permanent, it's irrevocable usually.
How does it happen?
It destroys what makes a person them. It eats them. And then it takes over. That's how faceless men are born. Created. This one is different. Not to mention, it'll also teach us more about messengers.
Well, you're certainly getting the most out of this.
Well, I am doing them a favor, after all. I might as well learn a little more while I'm at it.
Fine.
I would prefer Potjack not to be made aware of my laboratory.
I think this makes sense.
I don't mind if the others know, but keep it quiet.
Maybe we can just get him really drunk.
I don't think you have enough ale for that.
Yeah, the supply's already running low.
Inspiration.
I have one, but thank you.
Euphemia, who do you let know? Juniper, who do you let know?
She immediately tells Barley.
She will go and where are you two? Are you two near Potjack?
Yeah, I'm right near him. But also, I'm the one who you don't have to tell anything to.
I kind of figured that, but she actually kind of wanted you there because you're the closest to anybody here who could be an assistant.
So, speaking of assistants, there is a possibility that Euphemia could simply pull it. You're not sure exactly how her fate works in that regard.
Yes, but I would like to figure out what's going on first, because I'm not always going to have Euphemia around to pull it out.
If you are willing to bring in the other two, Isaac seems, with him being a cleric, he's certainly trained in surgery. He could be an invaluable aid.
That's what I just said.
Okay, I also have explicit knowledge and skills for stuff pertaining to darkness.
I don't
By
know
that,
yet.
I mean that he will
You
be
don't,
able to
but-
aid you in any skill he is trained in during
Okay,
the
mechanical.
process.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Roland provides an interesting benefit. if
Well,
you
I'm
want to
bringing
bring
the
him in.
group.
If
I figured the
he
crew
was
can
in
hang out
the actual
with
surgery,
Keep them occupied.
Roland could, if he had a continuous stream that he was able to generate as a paladin of heavenly light, he was able to shine on the specimen, he would reduce all medicine and religion checks required by 2 during the process.
Nice.
So, since you plan to do this,
I will say, I don't think anything will come of it, but she is definitely going to put in a concerted effort to get a hold of Rafe. He would love this.
you do not gain any connection to him.
I figured as much. She's just...
You get to roll several checks in preparation, and then you need to choose an approach. So, you are going to roll 4 checks. First is a DC 18 history check to remember your past experiences on the matter.
Don't forget your inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
If you roll this successfully, you
Debating
will
which one to
gain
use it on.
advantage on 1 roll during the event. The next one is a DC 21 insight check. If you succeed on that check, you will gain a -1 to all DCs during the event, during your procedure.
So 18, what was insight?
21.
Okay.
A DC 17 nature check. If you succeed that, you will automatically succeed all nature checks as part of it. And a DC 19 medicine check will lower all sleight of hand checks to DC 10. There are 3 procedures that you could use to deal with darkness. The first is to cut it out. This will be consistent, all of these are consistent of 10 checks. The whole procedure is 10 checks. cut it out method is 4 DC 10 medicines, 2 DC 13 natures, 2 DC 14 arcanas, and 2 DC 13 sleight of hands. If you fail on 3 checks throughout any procedure, your target will die. The next one is magical and heavenly light therapy. This is 4 DC 13 arcana checks, mostly arcana focused, 2 DC 10 nature, 3 DC 13 religion, and 1 DC 11 constitution check. And the last one is a fusion approach, which combines the two. This one is medicine, arcana, nature, sleight of hand, and religion. 2 of each.
Does bless work on them?
Any spell benefit would work. But a minute that bless provides would only benefit a few of these checks, not all.
Isn't there... What's that other one? That one I like? The improve...
Enhance ability.
That's the one, yeah.
Ability. Yes, that could work for, say, like wisdom or something. So yeah, you can either cut it out, which is mostly medicine, magical light therapy, which is mostly arcana, or the fusion approach that's 2 of everything.
Kind of thinking the magical light therapy, personally.
Okay.
Or if you could just pull the darkness out of him, and we could be on our way.
What happens to that darkness once you pull it out?
That's a good question.
Exactly.
Depends.
I'm like the only person in the group who that can't be affected by darkness, right?
That is correct. You can.
Yeah.
Supposedly, yes.
Yeah.
So I have no idea if she reaches in there, if she's going to get contaminated. I have no idea.
I would prefer to not have you contaminated.
Yeah.
Because you
Same.
would be terrifying.
Are you afraid
As a
I'll steal
person
your
in
mind?
darkness. I'm afraid you might steal a lot, but yeah.
Or maybe
All
your
right.
secrets?
As Juniper goes ahead and Sarah
Alright, so I'm just going to
contemplates her
my history.
procedure, we'll go ahead and take a break here and let her handle that. Welcome back, noble heroes. We return back to the group as they sail to the edge of the Crystal Forest to retrieve a infected messenger. During the break, Juniper rolled her preparation checks. She only succeeded 1, the initial medicine check. Was it a medicine check? Is that the one that you succeeded?
No, history.
A history check. That will provide her with advantage on 1 roll during the light procedure. So she is using magical light and heavenly therapy in order to cure the darkness. As you all reach the edge of the forest within about 20 minutes, so Isaac and Roland don't know what you guys are doing.
I will pull them aside. I will go, may I talk to you two, please?
What's going on? Hero says.
Oh shit, and Hero. He's allowed to come. She goes, may I talk to you 3 for a moment, please?
You're going to see Shadow's head sort of poke up out of the floor to see what's going on in the gathering. Then she kind of slips back down.
She looks at you. She asks if she can use your
went to
your
brief
room again.
Bali, so she and Bali are probably in the captain's quarters right now.
She's gonna knock and see if she can use it.
She'll open the door. Hi. She's gonna look back at Bali. I was just informing her situation.
May we come in?
Sure.
Thank you. She will close the door behind us.
What's going on?
I have been informed that there is a messenger who has been corrupted by darkness who needs some help. We are very close to one of my own laboratories that's located inside the Crystal Forest. We are going to be backtracking a slight bit to go do it, and I was hoping that you particularly, and a little bit you, might help me with this procedure.
Yeah, very.
It'd be nice to do something other than smack people around for once.
I'm telling
Okay.
you this because we will be having to leave the boat.
Oh, well, that changes
And
things.
I do not want that one to know about my lab.
And I really want an eye kept on him.
Who's going to babysit the project?
Well, if there's anything I learned, I don't think he cares very much what we do, as long as he's allowed to be on the boat and relax.
It's not so much that he cares, it's the fact that he would know and he's around people who could get to that information.
Would you be staying behind? Because maybe the best course of action is that we stop here, we disembark, and we backtrack on foot. That way he has no way of knowing which part of the forest your lab is in.
That take a couple hours?
It will take far much time than before, but we will be having to tote along.
Otherwise, we could wait until he's asleep.
Can I get the messenger in the crystal forest?
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
we can carry the...
You don't think Yen is going to be patrolling today?
Okay. I'm pretty sure he would
Forgive you?
probably, hopefully, maybe. We'll see. What he doesn't know won't hurt him.
Do you guys say anything?
Nope. I trust your judgment, Juniper. Whatever
So
course
how do
of
you wanna
action
do
you think is
this?
best.
Master, are you in there?
Ah, give me a moment. Yes, Prongor?
What's going on, Master? He says as the door opens. Is there a secret meeting?
Here, follow me. Juniper, I'll come back in just a minute.
She kind of gives you a narrowed eye slightly about telling Pongor. You could kind of tell she's not super keen on that, simply because...
Before he steps out, he says, I'm not going to tell Prongor.
Do you say loud enough for Pongor later?
No.
Okay. All right. Was that it?
No, I was going to say... she looks to see if you are coming or not.
I really don't like the idea of leaving him here with my crew. Do you need me?
Having you there as a backup, if all else fails, you could just try to rip it out, would be nice. However, the thought of you being corrupted by darkness is a fairly horrifying thought.
She raises an eyebrow. Am I that frightening?
What the darkness could do with your fate.
Cleby is going to whistle and beep to say something strange is up ahead.
I'm assuming that's our greeting party.
What is that, Captain? Jania says. You see two little figures, one on each side of the river. First appears to be some kind of blob. Some kind of gelatinous ooze with a little hat on. And the other one appears to be a gangly ettercap. A spidery, long-limbed, clawed creature with a spider face. The two of them are standing there, and the ettercap, in his long, spindly, like multifaceted, multi-boned arms, has something feathery. It almost looks furry at first, but then it's feathery. As soon as you all leave the forest's safety, although there's not much safety to it, you are... the two creatures are going to zap onto the boat. The ettercap is going to look around and then...
She gestures to the back of the boat.
They both look at you. Excuse me there, miss, the ooze says as he tips his hat towards you. You the godmother?
Indeed.
He
You
goes,
have my delivery.
right we do. Right here, he says, gesturing with a little ooze arm. The ettercap is going to step kind of awkwardly towards you and then hold out this little guy.
Tap his picture, please.
So itty bitty.
It is a tiny kiwi about the size of Hero. And it has warlike face paint on its head, a tiny yellow beak, and white tattoos crossing his feathers. They look maybe like mud rubbed on them. It's pretty dirty and messed up.
She's gently holding it, but firm.
It weighs very little.
It's a bird.
The ettercap is going to hand it to you, and then in a spidery, rarely spoken tongue, it's going to say, Careful with him.
Responds an Ettercap. We will.
Juniper goes. He hands the creature to you.
She gently takes him, holds him gently and firmly.
So he's about the size of a large toddler.
Very large toddler.
Very large toddler. Alright. This is Walks No Roads, Theo says. Alright, we have to get out of the forest now. Thank you, folk. If you succeed, please be coming back in this direction or redirecting us to the area where you exit.
Of course.
He says,
Do you have any other messages for us?
the other cap is suddenly going to point. Is that Potjack? He says, with his finger outstretched. Potjack!
Yes.
Potjack looks over at his own name. That's right, he says, smiling. Even weird bug things know who Potjack is, he says.
So this thing is a messenger?
Yes, both of them
Okay.
are.
I'm going to hand them a stack of envelopes.
Right. He nods. Immediately...
Oh, I got so distracted I didn't ask my question about the stupid guitars. Damn it. I'll do that in a little bit.
Hold on, Dom says, as he slowly begins to roil around in the river. Where are we going? Potjack says.
None of your business.
Well, how long is this going to take?
As long as it takes.
He
Enjoy,
whispers that wasn't the bargain.
enjoy the lovely scenery. You said you liked the sunshine and the deck. Sunshine, deck.
Pretty shady here, he says with a cross look on his face.
Well, maybe as we go along, it'll clear.
Fine. It is a decent walk off the river's edge. What does your laboratory look like?
Well, it's completely indecipherable from the outside.
So how do you enter?
Well, after a time... Hang on, I need to decide if I'm doing something.
Traveling through the crystalline trees is an interesting opportunity. You look at a mirror of yourself reflected 1,000 times in the bark of one of the trees. You see odd flowers that open wide with crystalline petals as you walk by and seem to follow you.
So part of getting there requires going a very specific pattern of getting it to it. So I don't know if anybody would even notice I'm doing it because it doesn't seem like I am. But
He didn't tell us. Then.
one of you might have realized that we might have circled at one point. I don't know. Anywho, so once we arrive there, it just looks like we're standing at a tree. Just a normal tree.
She's back at the boat. So she...
Oh, you didn't come. Okay.
Nope. She's staying.
Did Hero come, or is it just us?
She would have
three?
asked Hero to
did not
stay.
come.
So,
Okay, I was going to say, Hero is welcome. Okay, so she's going to walk up to the tree and she goes, I need both of you to hold on to my shoulders. This is going to feel very uncomfortable for a moment. She touches it and walks forward and down. It looks like a series of steps that seem to be carved into ground, and then it slowly becomes crystalline.
What's the uncomfortable part?
It's very, very cold for a moment. It's
Not
almost...
out of the ordinary for me at all.
Actually, it would feel a lot like that all of a sudden, but it feels like you just walked through a great gout of icy water. But you're dry when you get on the other side, but
Okay.
it feels it down to your bones.
The shock of being hit with, like, frigid water.
So cold and heat affect you less after you died.
Yeah.
But you still...
Yeah, even you would feel how...
I'd feel chilled by it.
Mm-hmm. It feels like you were out in the Arctic for, like, days. That cold inside.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's so awful.
Yeah.
After you step through, Isaac's like, do you have to go through with this every time you enter your lab?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Are you used to it by now?
Yes. I would greatly appreciate if neither of you ever mentions this location again.
I couldn't tell someone how to get here if my life depended on it.
For the fact that you know it exists. Only one other being has ever been inside this beside myself, so... Well, that wasn't part of the experiments.
As you head down a narrow flight of stairs, lights are going to appear in front of you. You will walk out into a extremely well-equipped, not at all dusty, very well-organized laboratory that you might see in some very well-equipped rich wizard's tower. And you see a table.
You would recognize how advanced everything here is. It's like it's the best of the best stuff.
Wow.
Like the stuff in this room could probably buy 3 or 4 of your mansions back in.
Selling us?
Yeah.
Okay.
And everything in them.
Do you immediately get to work?
Yes, she will gently place him on this table and activate some shields on it. You see her sketching out some runes on the side of it.
Juniper explains what she needs. Roland, you are able to channel your lay on hands energy into a slow and steady beam of light of heaven if you concentrate. She requests a constant stream of it on the subject. Do you do so? Mm. You put your hand out and open it up, and radiant energy touches the afflicted kiwi. So it is a ball of fluff, but you can tell that there is something roiling under its skin. And there is occasionally a little shock of lightning directly around it. Isaac, as you look at the rows and rows of perfectly polished silver tools, this is a well-equipped laboratory. You vaguely peek into one of the drawers and see duplicates of utensils. You look around and you can easily tell that this is, as she said, very expensive.
How many of these do you have tucked away throughout the continent? Actually, don't tell me that.
She pauses a moment and looks over at you and goes,
Okay. You pick up your tools and explain your procedure.
I would like to observe him first really quick. Using my eye as well.
For some reason, you believe by what your lens reveals, the magical ultimate magnifier, that the darkness seems to be unable to fuse with this body. It is resisting.
Is he conscious?
No, it is not conscious. You do learn it is a he.
Okay.
Does Juniper have a mirror in this lab? Or do you have to come here by foot?
I don't know.
Okay. Just curious. If I ever wanted to, just come back and use it for myself.
All right, what skills of these are you trained in? Arcana?
God, tell me medicine.
Yes.
You're trained in Arcana?
Yes.
Nature?
Hold on. No.
Religion?
You should be.
Yes.
Are you, what's your constitution? Actually, you can't roll that. So he may aid you in Arcana and religion checks, which is most of them. So
medicine
you will be
play here at all?
No medicine.
Got it.
Do you happen to have the enhance abilities?
Not on
trained?
I don't think.
I can give you bless and also.
I suppose wait, that's only a.
Bless is a look.
Is enhance abilities purely a
I don't
cleric
think that's a cleric
spell,
It is a
or
cleric
is it
spell.
everybody?
Cleric only.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we begin. You must make one of each check in order. So we'll begin with As you both place your hands above him, both you and Isaac place your hands adjacent to one another.
Oh,
What does his...
can I?
Yeah, mine adds 2 to certain things.
Can
or
I?
is it-
Can I spend a spell slot on Bless and also use guidance on her?
So you may use Bless. We'll go over 2 abilities.
Okay.
So you get to choose 2 checks to gain the D4 too, because each one's going to take a little bit.
Okay, I'm going to
But
spend a
But
spell
you may
slot.
only
going?
guidance once, because after you cast it, you'll need to concentrate on the arcane.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
so put it
You're
when
basically
one of them
casting.
that I'm getting close to.
I'll just use it, and then I'll let you decide which ones you want to use it on.
So the guidance will have to go on the first roll, because he has to cast it at first, and then he needs to cast for the spells to maintain the shield.
Okay.
So it will be the first Arcana check that you gain the guidance on. But
And
you
I
may
get-
gain the bless on any one of them.
So the guidance is just like Bless. It's a D4.
Okay, but I get advantage for this one, correct?
Oh,
Because
Is
you're
your
trained in
Yep.
Arcana.
So, Roland, as you place
Yeah.
your hands forward, so your guys' hands are like this, Roland's hand is down, forming a sort of triangle.
If I open this, my necklace, would that help at all, or is that too
So Roland
broad?
is like a permanent version. I mean, that is permanent, but it's also much weaker than Roland's.
Okay, checking. I
Um,
didn't know if it was concentrated enough, honestly, because his is actually being directed.
Right.
Where mine's more
So
broad.
you provide a -2 to all medicine, which there are none, but -2 to all religion checks as part of this. And there are 3 religion checks. So you change them from DC 13 to 11, which is pretty good.
Okay.
All right, so we start with a DC 13 Arcana check, and you do get the D4 to this from the guidance. Are you
Yes.
going with advantage?
Because him.
Right. Yes.
I,
All right,
Because him.
you pass 1. The next is a DC 10 Nature check. You guys have cast the initial shielding spells. Now you begin to probe the nature of this odd creature. Are you going to use
You want to use
anything?
one of his bless?
Advantage?
I don't
from
have to
your-
decide to use bless until I do it.
that's
Right.
true.
Well, you do have to roll it as with the dice.
No, you don't.
You
Not
can
Bless.
you can apply Bless after you've rolled everything.
But you do
Why I
have
was
to
thinking that.
choose to use your advantage.
I don't
if you
have any
use
more
it.
advantage.
Not for
Oh,
nature.
that
Yeah.
one. What else do I have to roll? It's
a Constitution
nature.
check and Nature checks are the only ones you don't already have advantage on.
Is it my Constitution?
Yes, DC 11.
I'm going to be using it on that.
Okay. All right, DC 10 Nature check.
I'm good.
Okay, you pass. You have determined exactly his anatomy, or most of it anyway. DC 13 Religion check, which is actually down to a DC 11.
And I
thanks
get
to rolling.
advantage.
Yes. DC 11 Religion check with advantage.
I'm fine.
You pass. All right. You are going to suddenly see as once you cast the religion, as you fuse your spell with the light of heaven, and it creates a lattice network over the body, the darkness is going to start struggling. You're going to see suddenly a hammer of it slam into the shield, echoing outside of the body, and then burns away. As it hits, you're going to feel that pressure strike inside of you. Roll a DC 11 Constitution check.
Okay.
Do you choose advantage on this one?
Yes,
All right,
I
you
do.
spend your advantage on this.
I have no bonuses to this, so.
Well, I rolled 2 16s, so we're good.
All right, you did it. All right, you guys increase the spell. Isaac, quickly you form necessary symbols on your side of the cage, and Juniper, you increase the
entire-
magical power.
The entire time she keeps listing off things that you need to do. Do you speak Arcantic?
Are you training Arcana?
Yes.
Then you're training.
So then I
Arcana.
do? Okay. I didn't know that was a thing. I knew what Arcantic was, but I didn't know that you got that if you were trained. Yeah. So I do understand you.
Okay. She keeps listing off words that you need to, like runes that you need to write. And
Okay.
Okay, DC 13, and you have advantage.
Which one is this? Arcana?
Another Arcana check.
I'm fine.
All right, another DC 10 Nature check. No bonuses.
I'm fine.
All right, you did it. It's going very well so far.
only 3 more checks.
Getting here going like this.
You increase the power of the light of heaven, a DC 11 religion check.
We're good.
All right, another
God for reroll.
DC 13 Arcana check with advantage.
Success.
One more DC 13 religion check. This is your last infusion
You
of
mean
the light of
11?
heaven. Or 11, yes, DC 11 religion check.
We're fine.
And the last check, a final infusion of magic, DC 13 Arcana. And the procedure was perfect.
Might as well
Have you
use
used
this.
a single bless yet? Yeah, use it.
I was like, I might as well just
I
use
spent
that.
the spell slot. Come on.
We're good. Wow. I'm so screwed on our next battle, just so we're
Yeah,
all
you
aware.
are, yeah.
I used all my luck. I had so many things that were above, 15.
Yeah.
It was 16, 17, 18, 19. I'm screwed when it comes to that. It's going to be crit fail, crit fail, crit fail.
Even though that's definitely
It's
not
coming.
how rolls
Just use
and luck
magic
work.
missile.
It's
or
coming.
whatever. You'll be fine.
Just cheat it through with magic missile. All right, we're good.
All right. As the final spell components are removed from the body, you have contained within a powerful protective jar adjacent to you the dying symbiote of darkness.
By the way, as a person who is versed in arcana and stuff, you would recognize that this was what it was specifically designed for.
The
So,
procedure?
no, the jar
Okay,
is
gotcha.
specifically designed for darkness.
And the procedure.
And the procedure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stuff here, everything you can see, it has something to do with darkness.
Okay.
And since a person, you said you were familiar with it, you would
Yeah.
recognize that.
What do you do with the Darkling? You can freeze it, you can destroy it, or that's about it.
Does it seem to be a normal one? Otherwise?
It does seem to be normal, yes. I mean, normal as far as darkness goes.
She wants to see if it's anything different, considering how it behaved in him. So, first.
You can recognize that this is one of the deep tribes. This is not near the surface.
I wonder how he got you. This one's not from around here. She says it to both of you guys, kind of not really aimed at you,
I think.
but it's like she's clearly used to talking to somebody when she's doing something like this.
Would I be able to recognize that same descriptor about it? No. Okay. Well, yeah, clearly it's a darkling.
No. I mean the specific type of darkling. This one's from deep in the Umbral Dark. You can tell the difference from you.
He looks down at the bird and says, "Do you think for some reason that he was down there delivering something?"
I suppose it's possible, but I'm not sure. They don't usually deal with darkness.
No,
You
they
get my
don't, but
meaning?
I can't think of any other way that he would be exposed to something like that.
Unless they're coming up.
Right, that's not true.
You now have a comatose creature. So, medically and arcantically, he should stay with you for at least a couple of days till he is guaranteed that the procedure worked.
Mm-hmm. Is there any trace of darkness left in him, or is he cured?
That's the problem, is that it is almost impossible to know.
So we need to observe him for a while.
Yes, at least 10 days.
She's silently musing over this.
He'll probably wake up in about an hour.
We'll be able to talk to him in an hour or so to see how mentally capable he still is, but I would like to keep him under observation for a time.
Is
So with that hour to pass here in the lab, can we take him back to the ship?
I think we should wait here, at least until he wakes up.
What are you going to do with that?
It doesn't seem to have evolved in any particular way that's unique or interesting. And other than the fact that it's a deep one,
This is all correct, right?
okay, other than the fact that it's a deep one, there's not much more to learn from it. I'm going to destroy it.
Okay, fine by me.
Oh, wait.
Please give us a like and a subscribe, Noble Heroes. We really appreciate it. And remember, do try this at home.